Hello Temtem Tamers, long time no see, it's Freizeit. Today I will tell you about the top 10 strongest Temtem of all time. That means not Temtems that might be the strongest now, but the ones who were the strongest for the longest time. Let's go! Number 10. Shuin. Shuin is a very strong support in all stall teams. With Quad Shield you can buff up your win con and save it from negative stat changes with Guardian. With only 2 weaknesses, it was very often possible that Shuin is not attacked and can buff for very long. Not the highest HP, but pretty high stats overall. Number 9. Golzi, the crazy golem. Golzi is a funny Tem. It counters almost every of his own counters. And with the great speed and attack stats and hasty lunge as a prior move in his bag, it is a threat to almost every team. Number 8. Momo. Momo with Undermine, Step Master and Resistance Badge was for a very long time just called the fun button. It was very powerful and only mentals would take half damage of it. Step Master and the item Resistance Badge were both nerfed to keep this dog from staying crazy strong. Still, a powerful neutral Tem. Number 7. Turok. Turok was just very solid for a very long time. He takes half damage from 5 sources and only takes double damage from 3. Removing Stoneball from his techniques makes him a bit weaker, but it is still a solid Tem overall. Number 6. Hazrat. The highest attack of all fire and toxic Tems. This Tem has only 2 weaknesses and a very high physical attack. If he is on the battlefield and you don't have a counter to him on the battlefield, it's almost over. This small rat can heat up and make his attacks even stronger when you swap. And if you dare to swap your weak Tem, it might also get a poison tick from his trait. It has a weak defense, so if you don't decide to attack him very fast, it will run wild. Number 5. Tulkan. As soon as Tulkan was released, it was always a top tier Tem. With Fiery Soul and Wind Burst, it had 2 very strong turn 1 stat moves for quite some time. With the remove of Fiery Soul, it got a big nerf, but it still has Tornado and Fire Tornado, along with Wind Burst as very strong special stat moves. Tulkan might be weaker since patch 1.7, but it is by far not weak. Number 4. Nagais. The only starter Tem in the list. Some love it, some hate it. The main reason for Nagais being so strong is its trait, Decent Aura, which got reworked again and again. In short, it makes your fast Tems slow and your slow Tems fast, which makes up for some crazy combos with slow Tems. Now it only changes the priority of techniques, but that is still quite useful in the right hands. Its very high special attack and speed do the rest for this very powerful Tem. Number 3. Tyrannek. The only mystical Tem in this list. Tyrannek's typing gives him only weakness to poison and makes him very strong against many other types. He is in fact also weak against some fire Tems, but is also strong against so many others. His very strong defense did make him a doom machine at some point, but even if you don't use your extinction, with its high defense and strong attack and very good move pool, he can scare the shit out of people. Number 2. Wolfie. Wolfie the Desert Fox. Everyone who played Temtem in PvP came along this Tem at some point. Since its only weakness is melee, it's not a big deal that he doesn't have a lot of HP. High special attack and plague as a turn 1 3 prior move make this Tem very dangerous. It also just got removed the turn 1 Earth move Sludge Gift, but even without that, it has Sandstorm and Dust Vortex at turn 2 to deal high damage against one or a good amount of damage against both enemies. This alone made Wolfie a top tier Tem for all the time it existed. And then it also has a good trait with Team Elusive, which gave it a S tier spot for half of its existence. Before we go to number 1, I want to quickly go over some Tems that just didn't make it to the list, but had still its time to shine. Mouflung, the strong neutral type with constant damage and almost infinite stamina. Tataru, the hard hitter with many different types in his move pool. Kinu, the overpowered buffer for some time with Protector. Gialis, high base attack and speed with strong crystal and melee moves. Mashok, just remember the good parrier times. And even tenderness was viable with this 10. Oseara, the beautiful water horse. Valash, madness buff and scavenger. Yaula, the big bear boss. Platimus, the first designed Tem. Mimit, the everyone. And now we go to number 1. Volerant. You did play Temtem PvP? Then you probably played this Tem at some point. Volerant only takes double damage against electric and half against 4 other elements. This Tem has 2 very strong, very different traits, and the fact that your opponent doesn't know which trait it has makes it even stronger. It can be a very strong special attacker with aerobic and hyperkinetic strike, or it can become an unkillable wall for every special attacker with anaerobic. There was no time ever when this Tem was weak. It always stayed at the top in every patch's tier list. Volerant almost always made every team stronger, and is, because of that, the number 1 Tem of all time in my opinion. I hope you did enjoy this list of the strongest Tems. I would like to hear your opinion of the strongest Tems, and if you agree or maybe even completely disagree with me, you can tell me in the comments below, and leave a like if you like the video and leave a dislike if you dislike the video, and see you guys. Bye.